History usually weighs very heavy on those who never thought they would be a permanent part of it. Our next guest is the first undocumented resident of the United States, a dreamer, approved to practice law in the state of New York, something that has angered plenty and left others believing their doors will open soon. Let's welcome back leader of the Dream Action Coalition, Cesar Vargas. Cesar, good to see you again and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Is it a little bittersweet in that it took all this fight and it took you this long to get there? Because you've been in this country since you were 5 years of age.
You know, days became weeks, weeks became months, those months became almost 4 years. And it was definitely a tough fight there. You know, I did everything that was required of me. I passed the bar exam, graduated law school, did everything that was required of me. But, you know, I think it was well worth it to demonstrate that I am like everyone else, that I'm just here to be able to be an attorney, to serve clients, to serve my community, to serve this country that I call home.
Let me just hit that last point. You said to serve this country that you call home. And that, I think, is a one line that many people still fight against because they say this is not your home. You are here illegally. So when you say something like that and people fire back at you with that sort of a retort, what does that do to you? How angry does that still make you?
For me, you know, this is not new. Throughout history, we have had from the Italian Americans, Irish, when they were told Irish need not apply, Italians were not welcome here. You know, this is something that's recurring in our history. So for me, this is history that's growing pains of America, America growing. And, you know, in a few years, few decades, we're going to see the new generation of Americans like myself who are here, who demonstrate, contributing, paying taxes, serving in our military to demonstrate that we call home. And our founding fathers, many of them were also immigrants. So I think what it means to be an American is not necessarily where you were born here, but whether you believe in the ideals of the American dream, liberty, and the Constitution. That's what it means to be an American.
Cesar, does it remain to you a fait accompli that the dreamers will soon become citizens of America? Or do you still fear that it will be years and maybe even decades?
You know, we definitely understand the politics. I understand the politics in Washington, D.C. is all a mess. We have Republicans blaming Democrats, Democrats blaming Republicans. But for us, you know, we are already Americans, and we need that piece of paper to demonstrate we are citizens. But at the end of the day, when we come home, when we actually see this country, when we see our family, we see an American dream realizing, and no one's going to take that away from us. And no one's going to take away from the fact that we're here to contribute to make this country a better place.
How do you get that forward, though, Cesar, that you are here to be a part of America? Because, again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but you know that that's always part of the argument. When you allow this to happen, when you have this happen to you, when you become a lawyer in New York State, people say, you still shouldn't be here, that you're still not part of this country.
Well, this is what the decision that the New York Appellate Court made. It pretty much said, through the law, through a state, New York State here being representative as a sovereign state, saying that, you know what, for us, what matters here is not so much about your immigration status. What matters is here whether you're qualified, whether you have the educational, the actual seller's advocacy for a client that matters whether or not you're going to be a client. And it's the same thing, overall the same narrative. Like, yes, you came here when I was 5 years old. I don't have citizenship, but that doesn't take away from me representing my clients as a lawyer. It doesn't take away from me demonstrating to this country that I am an American. So it plays the same thing that New York State and other states across the country are taking a step because Washington is not working, Congress is not doing its job, and it's up to the states to now realize, as the Supreme Court says, you know, it's a laboratory of American democracy.
I got about a minute left here. In this new trade agreement that's there, a couple of networks' websites are talking about the secret immigration chapter in Obama's trade agreement. They say that this would expand his immigration reach and that this is something that we should not allow to happen. What do you think?
This is something very simple thing. Congress, our congressional federal legislature is giving up its power to do anything. We saw Congress not being able to tackle immigration reform. We have seen Republican leadership and Democratic leadership failing in the legislative responsibility to enact new laws on immigration. And now we're seeing Congress giving the president even more power. So it's really the people to blame here is Congress that's not willing to take the actual duty to reform our broken immigration system. And at the bottom of this is, the Congress is Republican. Mitch McConnell is supporting the president in this fast-track authority. So we need to really think about who do we want to have the power, either the people or the president of the United States. And it's really up to our congressional leaders. And for me, I'm pushing both Republicans and Democrats because I don't think that the president should have that fast-track authority, because it's up to the people to decide that.
And the people will be very happy to hear that. Cesar, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Again, congratulations. I'll look forward to speaking to you many more times.
Thank you so much, Ed.
All right, my pleasure. Take care. Now I'm going to ask you, because Cesar Vargas is a dreamer. He's been in this country, says he was 5 years old, and now he gets a chance to actually be a lawyer and practice in the state of New York. What is your take? Should the dreamers be given that citizenship? The ones who want to become a part of the American experience. Send us your email comments, put them on Facebook, send it to us on Twitter. You'll answer. We'll talk back. And the fastest 60 minutes in news will continue.